You won't believe this, an 8-year-old girl walked into a courtroom barefoot, hair in loose braids, face smudged with dirt, and said to the judge, "I can read your mind." Now, imagine the judge, a man used to controlling every room he's in, suddenly caught off guard by a kid who didn't flinch, didn't blink. That's where this whole story begins. See, this girl, let's call her Amara, had been found wandering the streets a couple days before barefoot, alone, mumbling things no adult wanted to hear. She told one man, "Your wife knows what you did last summer." To a shopkeeper, "You stole money from your best friend." To another, "You're planning to run away with your sister." You can guess how people reacted: pale faces, angry shoves, and cops called in. But here's the kicker. When an officer asked where her family was, she just whispered, "They're gone." And then she stared right at him and said, "You're still wearing her perfume, the woman you see every Thursday." The cop turned white as a sheet, suddenly realizing this kid wasn't just making stuff up. When they asked where she wanted to go, Amara kept asking for Judge Randall, the same man who now sat towering over the courtroom, trying to keep his cool. Randall chuckled at first, saying, "You think you can read my mind? Cute kid, but this isn't a game." But Amara just took a step closer, eyes locked on his like she was staring down a secret he never wanted anyone to know. "You've hidden it for years," she said quietly, voice steady. "The thing you did that still wakes you up in sweat." The judge's smirk slipped. "You're lying," he snapped, just a scared little girl trying to get attention. But then Amara did something nobody expected. She reached up and gently touched the top of his head. Gasps filled the room. "Don't touch the judge," a lawyer hissed, but she didn't move. Her eyes closed, like she was listening to a storm inside him. "You didn't mean to do it, did you?" she whispered, voice almost a hush. "You pushed her. You didn't think the fall would kill her, but it did." The judge's face drained of color. The courtroom went still. "You buried her near the river," Amara murmured, thinking no one would ever find out. "You became a judge to bury the past, but you lied to yourself." Randall jumped up, pounding his gavel so hard it cracked. "Enough. This is nonsense. She's making it up." But the girl's hand stayed there, steady, calm. "Then why are you shaking?" she asked. And suddenly the courtroom buzzed with whispers. "Is it true? What is she talking about?" Randall's eyes darted wildly as he barked orders to take her away. But Amara spoke again, louder now. "You see her every night in your dreams, the woman you buried, screaming in your mind." The judge stumbled back, pale as chalk. "How could you know that?" he whispered hoarsely. "Because she's still screaming," Amara said, voice clear and cold. "And I can hear her." Chaos exploded. Reporters rushed forward, cameras flashing, lawyers shouting over each other. The judge's gavel slammed repeatedly, but it couldn't cut through the growing storm. "Order!" Randall yelled, voice cracking. But his hands trembled uncontrollably. "You hear her too, don't you?" Amara whispered, hand still on his head, eyes steady. "Her voice, her cries, the way she begged you to stop." "Lies!" Randall roared, sweat pouring down his face. "This child's manipulating you all. I've never heard anything like this." Amara tilted her head, braids brushing her shoulders. "Then why can I see her?" she pressed, and the judge froze. "You buried her near the riverbank," she went on, voice sharper, thinking the current would take her away. "But the soil was thick. You covered her with rocks." Randall's legs wobbled. He gripped the bench so hard his knuckles turned white. "Stop," he hissed. "You kept her bracelet," Amara said louder, voice cutting through the gasps. "It's still under the floorboards in your study." Heads turned. A woman in the back whispered, "What bracelet?" Amara's voice sharpened. "The one you ripped off her wrist when she scratched your face." The crowd buzzed with confusion and disbelief. Randall screamed, "Remove her now. This is slander." But Amara cut through the noise like a blade. "Her name was Claire. She trusted you that night, but when she said no, you lost control. You pushed her, and when she stopped breathing, you panicked." Suddenly, Amara gasped, clutching her head. She's screaming again, louder now, says she won't stop until the truth comes out. The judge sank back in his chair, trembling violently. I didn't mean to. It was an accident." Silence fell. all eyes fixed on Randall as he dropped to his knees. A man in the audience shouted, tears streaming, "You told us she ran away. You monster!" Reporters pushed forward. Lawyers scrambled to hold them back. Amara slowly lowered her hand. "Her voice is gone now," she said quietly. "She says she can rest." Minutes later, officers moved in. "You're under arrest for the murder of Claire Donovan," one announced. Randall's face crumpled. "I didn't mean to. It was supposed to be a secret." Amara's eyes followed him coldly as he was dragged away. "She always knew," the girl whispered. "She just needed someone to listen." As the final gavel hit the bench, Amara stepped down, barefoot, leaving silence and stunned faces behind her. A reporter cautiously asked, How did you know all that?" Amara's lips curled faintly. "I don't just hear thoughts," she said softly. "I hear the voices of the ones you tried to silence." And with that, she walked out, disappearing into the crowd, leaving behind a courtroom and a community that suddenly had to face a truth long buried. So what do you think? Justice served, or too little, too late? Was Amara a gift or a curse? Let me know your thoughts, because sometimes the quietest voices shake the loudest walls. Drop a comment, share your take on this story of secrets, guilt, and truth that refuse to stay hidden. What would you do if someone uncovered your darkest secret? Justice or vengeance, where do you stand?